Are you looking for answers to the unknown? Welcome to Live with Medium Lisa Phoenix and step into the magical presence of the metaphysical realm. Lisa will share the wisdom and musings from her own experiences, have intriguing conversations with other mediums and healers, in addition to exploring a wide array of topics and teachings on intuitive and mediumship development. Lisa will be taking your calls and inviting your friends and loved ones in the spirit world to share their stories with us. Raise your awareness as you are reunited on the level of love, and let's go live with Medium Lisa Phoenix.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday and happy 4th of July weekend to you all. Welcome to the Live with Lisa Phoenix radio show. I'm Lisa Phoenix, your host, a medium and energy intuitive. My show is all about healing, mediumship, and energy management, and I'm going to be talking with my special guest, Lori Brainerd, today about mediumship and about a variety of different topics. The station is currently working on the call-in feature for the show. So for now, if you want to share some of your own challenges or ask questions about your own specific journeys, please go to my Facebook page, Lisa Phoenix Live. That's LisaPhoenix Live, and post your questions, and we will do our best to address them while we're on the air. If you want further information about the Live with Lisa Phoenix radio show, please visit my page on the OMTimes radio site at OMTimes, OMTIMES.com/IOM/host, HOSTS/Lisa, LISA Phoenix, PHOENIX. My website is getting an overhaul at the moment, and we'll have the new show info up soon. But if you want to schedule an appointment with me, please go to my website, lisaphoenix.net, or email me directly at info@lisaphoenix.net, and we can work out the details. I would love it if you would go to my website once again and sign up for my Intuitive Insights newsletter, which will also add you to my mailing list. And please like me on Facebook at Lisa Phoenix Live. I want to welcome my special guest today, Lori. Good morning, Lori. How are you?
Good morning, Lisa. I'm fine, and hopefully you are as well. Happy 4th of July weekend.
Happy 4th of July weekend. I know that you have barely returned from a trip overseas.
That's true. I was over at the Arthur Findlay College, the inspiration for the Hogwarts of the Harry Potter series.
Which is one of my favorite series, by the way.
I wouldn't know why.
So, Lori, I know not to go in depth or anything, but maybe you want to share a little bit about the experience of the class that you took?
The class that I took was called Mediumship, Mysticism, and Prophecy.
Mm.
And unfortunately, it was the last time the class will be offered at the college because the tutor who is promoting it is changing and no longer going to be teaching it.
Mm.
But it's a wonderful blend of mediumship, but also parts of the arts of our work that are not always done, such as rune reading, reading tea leaves, doing actually artwork to help promote psychic development. And as you know, any kind of creativeness, it really promotes your psychic development.
Yes. In fact, last weekend, we had the tutor Sharon Harvey on this show, and we were talking a lot about creativity and how that helps you, and also she talked a lot about color and stuff like that. So it's a very important aspect.
Absolutely. And my team has been talking to me for a while because I love to do artwork. Now, I'm no Picasso. I'm not even close to it. But I always like to doodle into color, and I love music. And they've been saying to me for a while, you need to start developing some of these aspects again. You need to start working. And last year, in 2 readings that I got, over at the college with tutors who really had no idea who I was personally. It came through twice. Have you ever thought about working with, with art? And I was like, what are you talking about? How will this fit in? And so this year in the class, I actually got to see, because the tutor that I had, Maureen Mernon, who works a lot with shamanism and some of the not directly mediumistic classes.
Gotcha.
As well as medium. I should not say that she only works with these other things, but she does work with these other aspects. Brought to me ideas on how to work with color. And she would create things in class and show us how to create a picture or a design, and then use that to give a psychic reading or to connect psychically. So it was a wonderful instructional tool for me.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. And you know what, Lori, you never know. If spirit is working through you, you may end up being the next Picasso, or
Yes, well, I haven't been informed yet that Mr. Picasso has decided that he's going to work through a
on your team, right. But you never know.
You never know.
So, Lori, before we really get into the meat of things, I do know that you have some things. Again, I want you to tell everybody about your healing group. And also, I think you're going to be teaching some classes soon. And, if people wanted to connect with you, how they could you just share a bit with us?
Of course I can. First of all, to connect with me, I have an email address, communicationfromabove@gmail.com.
Perfect.
And you will get directly to me. There are no filters in between. And if you have any questions or you want to ask about the classes, that's how you can connect with me. Now, my classes are in San Diego. The first class I will be starting to teach is a spiritual psychic development class. And that will be over the course of 3 months. It will be two 2-hour sessions per month. So, for instance, this month, the 12th and the 26th are the 2 Sundays from 2:30 to 4:30 that I will be teaching classes. And then next month, there are 2 Sundays, and in September, there are 2 Sundays. And we're starting with the subject of breathing into it, and that is spelled INTUIT, which your breath and breathing into it is very important on setting the tone and getting you into that still point where you will connect with your own intuition and your own instincts, and later on with your spiritual team. So I am taking the very basic course, and it doesn't have to be from someone who is going to walk in the path we are, Lisa, who is going to become a medium. It's a basic path for anyone who wants to learn more about themselves, how to still themselves, how to connect with their own higher self, maybe with their team, because this is what it's all about. If you live a connected lifestyle, no matter what you do for a profession or in your life, you will live a more satisfied life.
Exactly. And also, if you live a more connected life, also you won't be blindsided so much of the time by things just kind of that you're not seeing. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So what are these classes costing for people who...
They are just $25 per class per individual.
Perfect. So guys, if you're in the San Diego area, please go ahead and contact Lori at the email. What is it? Communicating above? What?
Communication from above.
Communication from above. Now, also, I know you've been on before, Lori, but every time you come on, I just like to remind people about the healing meetup that you've got going on, and letting people know how they can connect with that if they're in the San Diego area and would like to.
Absolutely. The meetup that I have is called the San Diego Healing Touch and Subtle Energy Group. And although it has the name of Healing Touch within the group, It is actually open to all healing modalities. My team and I feel very strongly that no matter which modality you have, it is all under the umbrella of healing. And so we don't want to limit it to just to healing touch, but all are welcome. As long as you have the desire to heal and be a healer, you are welcome. Now, I will say that I am starting a new class. So we have been meeting for twice a month for 14, 15 months now. And basically it is healers who get together and have a chance to work with each other, share their techniques, but not teach. I am adding a third time a month where we will get together and there will be a sharing of techniques. It will actually be a little bit different. There will be a lot of instruction going on. And this is probably a great place for any of you who are interested in learning how to be a healer. Now, I'm not necessarily going to teach you Reiki 1, 2, 3, but I will teach you how to open to your healing abilities. And also there will be other teachers there who, if you like their style, you may be able, or you may want to learn with them or connect up with them. So this is we're sort of evolving.
Gotcha. So it's like you're meeting 2 weeks a month just doing the healing, and then now you've added a third time where people can connect up about their skills, right?
Right. Instructional.
Right.
The more for the beginner. The other 2 sessions are more for people who know what they're doing and are ready to just kind of move automatically into it. We have anywhere from 3 to 5 tables going at the same time, and we just all work on each other.
Great. And everybody, we're getting ready. We're going to go to a commercial break right now. You're live with Lisa Phoenix on OMTimes Radio. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hi, my name is Monica and I'm the host of Co-Creating Now. Give yourself an opportunity to connect with your all-knowing higher self and manifest joy, love, and peace together every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Have you bought into the idea that you have to work hard for your money, that business is hard? I will share some dynamic access consciousness tools to get you out of your own way so you can create a business that actually succeeds. Join me, Simone Millisers, on The Joy of Business at 4 p.m. Mondays Eastern.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back, everybody. You're live with Lisa Phoenix on the OMTimes Radio Network and my special guest, Lori Brainerd. Lori, before we went on commercial break, we were talking about your meetup group, but we really didn't have a chance for you to tell people how to connect or where to connect to get in touch with that meetup group.
Yes, actually, well, it would be through meetup.com, and the group's name is the San Diego Healing Touch and Subtle Energy Group. And if you join the group, you will then get automatic notifications of the times when the group meets. The purpose of the group was to support healers, because we as healers, and that term is used broadly, we as healers tend to help everybody else and quite often are short upon supporting each other.
Exactly.
So this is a chance where we all can get together and heal each other. And it's also a support group. It's a network. We talk, we enjoy, we spend time together. I have a space where we're able to have some snacks and really connect. So we connect, and it's a support network as well for healers.
Well, that sounds perfect. And also, I know, Lori, and again, I think it's the new email you gave out, that you also do your own readings and stuff like that. And you're also at the, what is it, the once a month, you're at the Harmony Grove.
Absolutely. I was there yesterday, the Harmony Grove Spiritualist Association, which, like the Phoenix, is also rising from the ashes of the fire from last year.
Yes. Yes. And so you're there if people want to go get a reading from you. And you also do your own readings, and they should contact you again at that same email address?
Correct. At the same email address, communicationfromabove@gmail.com.
I'll learn it eventually, Lori, but for now, I'm just going to have you keep on repeating it.
That's perfectly fine.
And just, Lori, in our conversations over recent and stuff like that, you've told me about some experiences that you've had, and I know that I actually, it's a big part of my work as well. And I'm just going to kind of term it assisting people and spirit when people are passing over.
Absolutely. It was a little bit surprising for me, because I had not done this in an active way. As you know, but as the listeners.
Yeah. Can you share the whole experience that you had? Yeah, that would be perfect.
I am a trance medium.
Right.
So I quite often will go from a sleeping state into what you call a deep trance state. And it's a state where you are aware of where you are. For me, it's quite often I am lying in my bed and I know that I'm waking up, but I'm held in a trance-like state where I'm neither asleep nor awake. I'm in that in-between, but you are aware of your circumstances, what is going on, but you're also very open to your spirit team members. And what happened to me was actually quite surprising. It was after my week at the Arthur Findlay College, and I woke to one of these trance states, and I saw a face of a friend of my mother's who I had not spoken to or seen in quite some time. It must have been at least 20 years. But when we knew each other more actively, we were very friendly. We were very good friends. And I really had a love bond with her. And she came to me and we started to converse. And I then realized that she had to be in some state of either actively passing or preparing to pass to the other side.
Gotcha.
Because this woman in her life, as is my family, my parents, and all of their friends, were not open to what I do.
Right.
And they would be terribly surprised to find out about it. And this woman was a little surprised. And we talked about it, and she said, well, how did you get to do this? And I went through the story. But it was very brief. And then all of a sudden, I felt myself channeling a higher force, actually my guides. And we started to tell her about the other side and the crossing process, because I could tell that she really didn't know what to look forward to, and she was a bit apprehensive. And so as I spoke to her, and I will say we, because it was not all me. It was definitely, there was a presence there that was working with me.
Right.
gave her the information, I could feel the relief coming from her. I could actually feel the tears coming down her face of relief to know that she was not facing termination. She was just walking from one side to the other, and that she still would exist.
Gotcha.
And it was a very, very unusual for me situation, but very rewarding. And I was very delighted to have done it. Whether I will continue to do this, that's up to my team. I'm sure when the opportunity arises and I have the love bond or the connection with the person who needs to cross, I'm sure that I will be called upon.
Exactly. And so have you had a chance since to kind of look her up or anything and find out what was going on?
I have not, because I've been traveling ever.
No, I got you. I was just curious.
Well, in fact, she did ask me to reach her daughter, who I was the same age as when I was younger and growing up. And I told her, I said, Dee, I said, if you want me to connect with Janet, I have no idea where she is. You're going to have to help me to find her. So if Dee, if Janet Cantor, I don't know if you're married now, but if you're listening or if somebody knows her, please have her contact me, because her mother wants me to connect with her and let her know about what I know, and that she will be okay, that she is transitioning, and she's calm and very happy right now.
Gotcha. No, and that's a wonderful thing. And I actually have recently also had an experience like that. However, I have had them previously. And a woman that was a friend of mine, and I helped her out with some business stuff as well. She just passed, but the week prior, again, I was called in to do some energy healing, and the healing that I did was more like trance healing too, as opposed to like Reiki or whatever. And but again, in this sense, and I just want to share with people, although when she was still actively conscious, she and the people around her believed that the healing was to, quote unquote, make her better and to heal her. I really get a sense that the actual healing was to help her let go, because she was clinging on so tightly. One of the reasons being was that she didn't believe that there was anything else there once she passed. And it's kind of interesting, because when you go into that kind of work, a lot of times the reason for the healing is different from what you expect it to be. And with my team, when she was getting closer to passing, my team came in, and I don't know, different people call it different things, and they do different things. But for me, I kind of term it as kind of like opening the gates for the person. It's not that you're opening the gates, but you're just, the team comes in, the spirit team comes in, and they kind of point the person who is passing in the direction of where the light's coming through, and whether it's a bridge or whatever you see when you cross, and where those people are that are waiting for them. And so it's kind of like, and because of it can be, as we think, so we are. If you really believe that there's absolutely nothing there, and it's that your thoughts can take you to that place where there's just nothing. Does that make sense, Lori?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And when I was connecting with Dee Cantor, who was the woman who came to me, she said to me, how is it that we're connecting? How is it we're actually speaking to one another? And that's how we got into this whole subject matter. And for her, it was life, enlightening. It was what gave her the ability to let go of the earthly and the physical.
Exactly.
And know that there was something beyond.
Right. And it was, I believe it was a similar experience. And I had, because I had it, because I really believe that even if you're a medium, when you want to communicate with the spirits in your own family and life, you should definitely go and get a reading from another medium. I don't believe that you should kind of lean on everything that you hear yourself, because we are human. And sometimes, depending upon what we're going through, we can kind of skew things up a little bit.
Absolutely.
But yes.
It's very interesting you say that, because I will hold something, a truth that I hear from my team within myself. But when I hear it from someone else who has not heard me repeat what I have heard for myself, and they say to me, well, did you know that your team member, or that this is what's going to happen? Then it becomes a truth, because I know, okay, this person has no way of knowing. It's not me putting it into my own head.
Exactly. And I think that that's a really, really important point to stress, because so many people, it's like, especially when they start doing this work, I mean, they're being opened up in so many different ways and everything like that. And they can have a tendency to kind of hold on to everything that they're getting and take it as literal truth. But especially when you're new at this, things aren't coming through. Do you know what I mean? Even though you think you're seeing something, or you think you're hearing something, or you think you're feeling something, it's not always that way, because you're communicating from two different planes. We have to break for commercial right now. You're live with Lisa Phoenix on OMTimes Radio with my special guest, Lori Brainerd. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hi, this is Sylvia Henderson, intuitive life coach and energy healer. Are you ready to elevate and rise way above your normal? Be sure to listen to my show, Intuitive Transformations, on OMTimes Radio, Sunday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern. Get the inspiration you need to transform your life.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. Are you trying to get from point A to point B and need a little advice? Connect with the counselors at OMTimes Advisors. Whether you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual intuitive, the advisors participating at advisors.omtimes.com were carefully chosen based on their gifts, skills, and professionalism. OMTimes Advisors, connecting you with the best advisors in the business.
If you remember living fearlessly, joyfully, and in a world filled with adventure, happiness, pleasure, and unbridled living, then this show is for you. Join me, Dame Nicole Brandon, as I bring you the world's top experts in wealth, creativity, flow, sea-edging technology, space, wellness, health, love, lust, and passion, all merging together each week here at the Hub of Happiness. Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Passionate Living, where you can ride on the magic carpet ride of living and learn how to lead a passionately wild, exciting, and outrageously amazing life.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back, everybody. You're live with Lisa Phoenix on OMTime Radio and my special guest, Lori Brainerd. So all that to say, Lori, I want to continue with that point because especially when you're first learning about mediumship, it takes practice to kind of let go and let spirit. And so just as we were talking about the two people we were talking about who were kind of holding on to this life, when you're first learning mediumship, there's a part of you that's holding on, you know, and it takes time and trust and everything for you to let go. And so again, even aside from that, I do think it's a great thing when you want to get your own messages or hear from your own people that you do go to an outside medium. And I say that. So anyway, I had this appointment scheduled way before this woman who I know was we even knew that she was going to be passing. And when I went and spoke with the medium, she told me that a blonde woman had come and met her when she crossed over. And I know that that blonde woman is her sister who had passed. And I actually have a connection with her sister who's living. So my connection with her sister who's living has given me the opportunity to connect with the other sister, the blonde sister who had passed for the last 3 years or something. So I knew that was her sister. And again, if you go back to the whole team thing, I know that doing this work just kind of, it can help everybody match up. Does that make sense, Lori?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's kind of like we both just share this, and even in your own life, even if you're not a medium or whatever, you know, you got to know there's ways that just by the things that you do that you're helping people in ways that you don't even know that. Wouldn't you say, Lori?
Oh, quite often half of my work is not an official reading. I'll be sitting next to someone on an airplane, or I'll be in a conversation with someone in what you would call, quote unquote, my normal persona, where I don't advertise who I am. I'm just me, Lori. And a conversation will come up, which will turn things into a spiritual direction. And the person I'm with will have a question or will make an inquiry of some sort, and immediately the information starts coming to me on how I need to tell them something. And in it comes, and they won't even know half the time that I am who I am, but I'm giving the information to someone who has been placed in my proximity by spirit to get the information that they need. So quite a lot of my work comes in my everyday life, not in my quote-unquote medium role.
And that's me too, exactly. And that's why I want to encourage people out there. You don't have to be a medium or an intuitive, most of us are intuitive to a certain point, but you don't have to have these as this is what you want to do for life or whatever. It's about connecting with people and just being in a spot to be able to meet them where they need to be meted at a given time, whether or not they are encounters or whether or not they stay in your life. Because I get a sense from a lot of the people I counsel with and talk with that a lot of times encounters happen that are just supposed to be encounters, but they've had such a strong connection in that encounter that people try to keep those people in their life. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think once we have a positive connection with someone, even if it's only for a moment, that memory, that piece of time that has opened them up or created a positive, warm feeling for them is something that will remain with them always. Even though you may not physically be in their life, you are with them because you have changed them, you've touched them. And again, you don't need to be a medium. You can do this every person can do this in their own life, just living a mindful life. But being a medium and intuitive, we are called upon consistently in our daily lives to walk the walk, as they say. Walk the walk and be open to help someone that you can on a moment's notice.
Yes. Yes, I totally agree with you. And speaking of that, too, I kind of wanted to open this up a little bit about kind of going into this and when we make those connections, especially now with the way things and the way the universe is evolving energetically. I wanted to discuss a little bit about communicating telepathically. Because it seems as though people are starting to have a stronger telepathic communication. I'm going to say sometimes when they're connected, but even if they've made that one spark of connection, but other times when they're not connected, it's just kind of a global thing.
Absolutely. I will tell you, I recently had an experience where I have a group that sits on Saturday night for development of physical mediumship.
Mm-hmm.
And, some of us have been together 3 or 4 years, and some of us have known each other less than that time. But it's become like a little family. And
right.
Recently, several situations where one or the other of our members has been put in an uncomfortable situation or where they have been in distress of some sort. And this just came up, yesterday and the day before, and another one of the members knew that they needed help. And they called them, or they showed up at, where the person was and said, "Hey, I'm just here to support you." It's an amazing phenomenon and how we are connecting, and almost as if we're making neural net connections. We're reaching out and allowing the spiritual net to pull us in and really real time connect us up with our spiritual family, which is much bigger than what any of us know. Our spiritual family is actually all of humankind. And it continues to grow from what we think is that small network of friends that we have. It grows and grows.
Exactly. And because all of you are aware of, the thing when you're thinking about somebody and then they turn around and call or whatever. But this is kind of like it's happening at a bigger level now, wouldn't you say? And that people.
Yes, and much more frequently.
Yes.
I think new energies that are coming on really are opening things up. And I've said it before, and I think I've said it on your show. The image that my team has given to me is that there are street lamps that are starting to turn on. So as you're walking down the path, being the path of your life, lights are starting to turn on. And as they were turning on before, just as you were approaching them, now they're actually turning on ahead of you. And
right.
So the path lit or lighted.
Yes, it reminds me of we were talking about this earlier. It reminds me of a scene in Harry Potter where they're in the Muggles neighborhood, and when the Death Eaters come down, it's all dark, and then all of a sudden, after the magicians and Harry comes in and everything, you just start to see the lampposts go on. The lights come on the lampposts, one right after the other. Boom, 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 boom.
And although I don't remember seeing that because I didn't read Harry or watch Harry from one end to the other. That's precisely the vision that my team gave to me.
Yeah, well, maybe you should be checking out that Harry Potter, Lori,
Truly, it's it's something where for a piece of fiction is a wonderful story. It awakens the imagination and the possibilities to so many.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just jabbing you because it's one of my favorite stories. But I also, and again, I want to go back to the point where it's like you don't have to consider yourself an intuitive or whatever. If you've heard, this is more about what we're talking about is the connection and being able to connect both with people in your life and with people outside of your life. It's more about you've heard the catchphrase, living a more conscious life. And even though, yes, it seems like everybody's trying to kind of use that now in different ways, but there's also a great level of truth to it. And again, it's like in order to experience this stuff, it's more that you just have to be a little bit more conscious. And what that means for you is going to be different than what it means for the person next to you. Wouldn't you say, Lori?
Absolutely. Absolutely, it will be.
Yeah. So, again, when we talk about stuff on this show, it's like I'm really a big believer in dealing right where you are and then taking little steps forward. It's not like you turn on a show like this and you hear this and then you've got to be over here. I really believe it's just if you just start and acknowledge exactly where you are, you will be led to the next place that you're supposed to go. Not necessarily where Betty Sue's supposed to go, but where you're supposed to go.
Absolutely. We all have our own path, and no two mediums' path is the same. And no two people's path.
Exactly. And we're once again about to break here for commercial. You're listening to Live with Lisa Phoenix on the OMTimes Radio Network and my special guest, Lori Brainerd. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The future of Internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, I'm Miriam Knight of New Consciousness Review, inviting you to my new show where I interview the rising stars of the conscious awakening. We'll explore the many faces of consciousness and action and intriguing perspectives on life, the universe, and everything in between. Join us each Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Rising Stars Show.
Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community. Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Imagine magnificence. Do you live to your unlimited potential? Join me, Margaret Ann Lembo. Awaken your consciousness. Listen to Money Magnet Moment, Gem Spot Affirmations, Essential Aromatics, and Looking Skyward Astrocast, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back, everybody. You're live with Lisa Phoenix and my special guest, Lori Brainerd, on the OMTimes Radio Network. Welcome back, everybody. And Lori, I did want to just, how we were talking about a few minutes ago about how it's getting easier to connect with, those living. I also believe it's getting a lot easier to connect with those that have passed over. And what I mean by that, not necessarily if you're a medium, but I hear more and more people saying, wow, I just feel their energy around me.
A lot of people are saying that. I feel them here. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps.
Right.
Because they haven't been trained or they don't understand, that is one of the ways that spirit lets you know that they're there. So people are being more sensitive, or they're being sensitized. They just don't recognize officially what it is that's happening.
Exactly. And that's why, again, and you see classes popping up over, it's not sometimes to find a class or to do the class you're going to be teaching and the classes that I'm going to be teaching. Sometimes it's good for people to take those classes just so that they can be aware of, tuning in to more to the different energies, and not necessarily that they want to be a medium or intuitive.
Exactly. And that's why my spiritual psychic development class is geared the way it is. It's for everyone, not just for those who will move on to become a medium or a healer or some sort of psychic intuitive. Because we all can live a more spiritually aware life. We all can connect to it. We're all born with the ability to connect. We just forget how to use it. It's like an atrophied muscle. Spiritual development is a muscle, and if you don't work at it, it does atrophy. And as we know, we have to continuously work at it, or we get rusty.
Right. And I just think, so again, can you explain to people what you're going to be covering in your class?
My class it's 6 parts. It starts with what I call breathing into it, which is the basics. But it will move into angels, guides, and teachers. I'm not going to be telling people who their angels, guides, or teachers are. I'm going to be showing you and hopefully facilitating for the student, for them to connect with their own team, for them to connect with their higher self, with their higher team members. And that's what my role is. I'm a facilitator. I will teach. I will show you techniques. I will show you what has helped me and what I have learned from the many guides and teachers that I have learned from. But in all truth, these are only techniques, and the student will learn their own way. But I will help to hopefully facilitate for them to connect up.
Gotcha. No, that sounds awesome. And speaking of, I just wanted to say too, I actually, this is kind of going off topic here a little bit, but I actually, yesterday went downtown LA and went to the actual Anime Expo convention that they hold, during this weekend every year. And the reason I bring it up here is because, I love to look at the way all the people dress up and the cosplay. I like to talk to them and kind of get an idea of what they're all about and stuff like that. It's just fun. But I did notice, and even in the advertising and stuff like that, there is a more, I love anime because one of the things I love about it is the fact that they actually teach you a lot of spiritual, a lot of spiritual and energy stuff from the East, and it's just amazing. I know people who have gotten a lot of their spiritual development through watching anime and through learning about the different energies and stuff like that. But just talking to people, as we were talking about earlier, Lori, about the energetics and the energy, the way it's moving and the new energies that come in. It was just amazing to talk to some of the people as there kind of seems to be this awareness, this broadening awareness of energy in the community. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely. I would be surprised if you didn't pass my son, because he was probably at the anime convention with you. He was in LA, and I know he loves anime as well.
Gotcha. Well, I didn't run into him that I knew who he was.
No, we probably passed by each other and neither one knew who the other one was.
But yeah, it's just all over the place, this expansion of energy and of understanding. And the younger people are just kind of clicking in. It's like they don't actually have to go through the years of some of the stuff that we had to go through, you know?
Absolutely. And I will tell you, recently, I have to say I was very surprised. While I actually was over at the Arthur Findlay College, I was reading CNN to keep abreast of what the news was happening. And there was an article on CNN that talked about the entrance exam, or the exam in China to go to college. Because as we all know, there are many more people than there are available spots to go to the higher education in that country.
Gotcha.
And they actually gave a number of the questions that had been asked on the entrance exam, which said whether a person's life, whether they would move on to a higher level of education or be, as you might want to say, doomed to a lower level of existence. And I read through these questions, and they were so philosophical and so attuned spiritually.
Like, can you give us some examples?
You know, I'm sorry I can't. It was
okay.
Long ago, but I'm sure you can look it up. The CNN article, it was on CNN article on the entrance exams to China's higher education. It blew my mind, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I would have preferred to have an essay question like this than the rote essay questions that we get on the SAT."
Right.
To try and help us determine where we're going to go in the future. It was spiritual development in a guise of an entrance exam, because there was a way to answer it that absolutely showed that you had a higher perspective of evolution spiritually.
Wow, I think that's amazing. I didn't know anything about that.
I didn't either. I was totally surprised, but that's why I'm mentioning it now. It certainly is worth looking at. And not that I'm advocating China's way over our way. I'm just saying that I was surprised to see it. And I would love to see some of the questions on the SAT change, because I think that they're too much fact-based. And we need to step back into a more spiritual and higher, developing our spiritual gifts, developing the whole human being. Yes, you can have facts, but you can be the greatest fact machine in the world. You're just a computer. You're a living computer. You need to have that empathy. And if you are not empathetic and you have not connected in with your spiritual side, you are living only a partially true existence.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you. And I don't think it's about choosing one side or the other. I think it's about merging the two, because there's great points for both sides.
Absolutely correctly. I didn't mean to say that, it's only one or the other, but in merging the two, that is how we'll move the world forward.
Right, because they probably, from what you're saying, they probably could have used maybe one or two questions that came from our side,
Very possible. It's been a while since I've taken the SATs, but I just remember it being a very traumatic experience.
Yeah, I think it still is. I really do. I've communicated with several people who have recently completed them, several seniors, and I think it is still A somewhat traumatic experience.
Absolutely.
That causes major amounts of growth.
And stress.
Yes. So, Lori, our time is running short. And again, I'm sorry, I always like to go over this again. For those of you in the San Diego area, may briefly, Lori, tell us what you've got going on and how people can connect with you.
Well, I have my 6-part spiritual development class that will be held on Sundays from 2:30 to 4:30. If you write to me at communicationfromabove@gmail.com, I will send you all the information that you need to know about it. It is $25 per class per individual. And if you want to reach out to me for the healing, either the healing class or the healing group, it's through meetup.com. And it is the San Diego Healing Touch and Subtle Energy Group. And if you cannot find me that way, write to me at the communicationfromabove@gmail.com, and I will lead you through it.
Perfect. And everybody, our time is starting to come to a close. And Lori, I really want to thank you so much for being on the show. And also, I want to once again thank all you listeners out there for hanging out with us this morning. If you want further information about the Live with Lisa Phoenix radio show, please visit my page on the OMTimes radio site at OMTimes, OMTIMES.com/IOM/host/Lisa-Phoenix. And again, you can reach me on my website, lisaphoenix.net. It's LISAPHOENIX.net, or email me directly at info@lisaphoenix.net. Live with Lisa Phoenix is on every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific Time. So please tune back in with us next week. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Lori. And have a great week.